Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, Megalopolis. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way I don't have to experience something like the fall of Rome. The synopsis is as follows. A conflict between Caesar, a genius artist who seeks to leap into a utopian idealistic future, and his opposition, Mayor Franklin Cicero, who remains committed to a regressive status quo, perpetuating greed, special interests, and partisan warfare. Instead of talking about the 6 things that make a movie great, I'm just going to share my spoiler-free thoughts about this movie. The first trailer that I saw for this film, I immediately thought it was going to be like Christopher Nolan level movie. I don't know why I did that. That was a dumb idea. But it really looked like it had this very deeply conceptual idea behind it. But how it actually came across was just an absolutely convoluted mess. What this movie tries to do is tell a contemporary retelling of the fall of Rome based on like 4 or 5 different books and a fable within those books. At least that's what I read when I researched it. But for the life of me, this movie could not find a sweet spot between melding the two. Because for a while in this film, they were talking like they would back in the Roman days. So I thought to myself, all I need to do is get my mind on that track like I would in a Shakespeare film. Usually takes a few minutes, but then you're able to get with it and understand what's being said because the language is so different. But then this movie would decide to start talking like contemporary people. And it just felt so out of place and weird to meld together. Kind of like back in the day when I would try to have my Bionicles and G.I. Joes work together to save the day against an unknown enemy. Although that may have proven to be more entertaining than this movie was. Because holy friholies, the audience struggles to grasp onto something that makes any kind of sense at all in this movie. Like the main storyline of this movie felt so subtle compared to all of the other grandiose nothing that was going on. And the longer you sat there, the more numb your mind got because literally nothing was making sense. It was just a bunch of nonsense and ridiculousness. There was so much of that you could have cut out, and then you could have seen the conflict between Caesar and Cicero and the wild card of Claudio and all of that stuff. There was a story you could have told here, but it was just a big blob of incoherent nothing. Which is crazy because the cast for this movie was fantastic, and it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who's made a couple of very recognizable films like Apocalypse Now and The Godfather. This movie is not even close to comparable, and you arrive at the end of the film like, what the frick was that? I'm all for people's ideas and deep concepts being brought to screen. But if you're not able to bridge the gap between whatever's going on in your imagination and something that the audience can understand, then I think that the result is something like this. A fantastic cast with some very good visuals and this very deep idea behind it, and none of it makes sense or is intelligible to its audience. Other than that, the movie's rated R. There's a mild to moderate bit of profanity, some sexuality, sensuality, nudity, a few moments of bloody violence, especially near the end, and drinking and drug use. Whatever this movie hoped that it would be, it was not. And that makes me sad because I don't like seeing concepts that could be incredible like this not doing well, because I love originality and I would love for something like this to have made sense, but the storytelling was so poor and unintelligible that there's nothing for you to hold on to. Even the concept of Caesar being able to stop time somehow and him not really using it to do anything interesting, or the relational conflict between him and the mayor and the mayor's daughter being in a relationship with Caesar. Like, there are a lot of good things going here, but for some reason they just could not turn it into an actually good story. And because it's over 2 hours long, it makes it even worse. Unfortunately, I can't give this movie a rating above a 2 out of 10. And I think for me, the reason why it even gets that is because at the base level, there could have been a decent story here. You have an incredible cast and you have some great visuals. But at the end of the day, Megalopolis is just a big, beautiful nothing. So with all that in mind, Megalopolis is definitely not worth your time or money going to see in theaters, as much as it breaks my heart to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Megalopolis, please let me know how it felt to be on acid without taking acid, and talk about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.